Hi, and welcome to Caretaker's Corner, where we discuss everything that has to do with caretaking of your adult disabled children, your elderly or disabled parents, and your disabled spouses. My name is CJ, and I'm here to give you as much knowledge as I can about this. My last video was on stuff you should talk about, items you should talk about with your family before, well, quite frankly, before the end of life happens or before something happens where they might become incapacitated. So now I would like to go over some things that you need to think about and you need to do after somebody has passed away. Now, I'm still, like minute by minute, learning about stuff that I probably should have done and stuff I didn't remember to do or that I forgot about. So I'm going to go over stuff that you should immediately do after your family member has passed away. This is after you've left the hospital, after you've calmed down. I didn't start any of this. Well, I contacted family the day my dad passed away, that evening when I got home. And I'm not going to lie, I drank. That was pretty much what I did. I had to deal with some stuff there. But when I woke up the next morning, I had a list of stuff I knew I had to do. I had to contact the funeral home, which I had talked to them previously because the hospital had contacted them. And I had to contact the Social Security office. You have to let them know as soon as possible that the family member has died. I will let you know that the Social Security will take money back out of the checking account based on how far along in the month it is. I'm not sure if they prorate that or if they just take the whole gosh darn last check out. Now, like for Dad, he literally got paid the day before he passed away. So, I mean, the money is just sitting there in his account waiting for them to take it back. You need to contact all of the bills. I'm sorry, there is like a spider on the floor. You need to contact all of the bills that are in the person's name. So my dad had several credit cards. All of the bills in Dish Network, he had Dish, but all the bills for the house are in my name. So that wasn't something I had to worry about. I don't have to worry about contacting the bank. I mean, I will after Social Security takes out that last check. After that's done, I get the death certificates, I'll let the bank know that he's passed away and to take his name off the account. But I don't have to worry about that until then because it's a joint account in both our names. So that way I never lose access to that money because we also have a savings account specifically for his final expenses. You have to contact any retirement funds they might have. So my dad was retired from the IRS and then he had served in the military. And so he got a small check from the military and from the IRS from where he retired from there. So you have to contact them to let them know that they've passed. They will stop the payments and that way you don't have to worry about that. You need to contact the life insurance policy. Now, the funeral home's going to want to know about the life insurance policy. If there's not a life insurance policy, then you're going to have to work on payment arrangements with the funeral home. In this case, there is a life insurance policy, but we also had money set aside so that I could get everything rolling until the life insurance came in. And it's not a lot. It's just enough to take care of his final expenses. But that is something that you need to think about because if you have an older person who doesn't have life insurance and you see those life insurance programs on TV, well, they go, oh, well, you can get life insurance for only $10 a month. You need to do some research into that. For my dad, it was just as easy for us to have a savings account where he was putting the same amount of money because it wasn't $10 a month. because of his age when he looked into it, it was like $200 a month. Well, if you're putting $200 a month into a savings account, you'll have the money pretty fast, actually, to pay for a funeral. So that's very important to look at. Shop around if you're wanting life insurance. I wouldn't jump on a bandwagon for just any life insurance, especially when it comes to somebody who's older. It may just be easier to automatically have money taken out of their account every month and put into a savings account or a CD, so that way you're earning a little bit more interest. Also, less likely they can touch it and use it for something else if it's in a CD because it's locked up. But like I said, for Dad, like $200 a month was what it would have been for him to get that insurance. So it was just as easy. He started a savings account and a CD, and that way he was, putting that money over there so he could earn money to pay for the funeral. And it came up to be a better deal. I mean, if there's a good chance they can live past 2 years, that might work out. But most life insurance policies won't pay out till you've had it for like 2 years. So that's something to keep in mind. Not financial advice, by the way, nor legally advice of any kind, because I am in no way an expert. This is just what I've discovered throughout the years in helping with final arrangements for my family members. Before you go to the funeral home to make the arrangements, you're gonna want to write out the obituary. You don't want to have to try and remember everything when you get there. Because you're gonna want it to, I don't know what all you want it to say, but like mine, I said, my dad, he left me and my uncle, a nephew and a niece, and he was preceded to death by yada, yada, yada. But I had all that written out with correct spelling because I had the time to check on all the spellings. And that's an important thing because, like, some people in my family, their names are spelled just a little bit different than normal. So that is something that you really, really want to think about. Also, you want to go ahead and contact the minister or the person you'd like to officiate it to make sure that they'd be available to do it. Now, depending on your situation, it is normally accustomed to give the minister or the officiate some money to pay for their expenses of getting there and for a meal or something. It depends if the funeral home arranges for somebody. I think they have like a set amount. If you personally have a family member that does it, or a friend or a family of the family that's going to do it, or one of the family minister, talk to them. A lot of people don't realize that that's actually a thing, giving them money for doing a funeral. A lot of people don't realize you pay the minister for doing the wedding too. So think about all of that. That's stuff that ironically is just not known. I didn't know a lot of that in the beginning. I've learned over the years about all this. Another thing to think about is if they have a lounge area. Now, in my family, typically we put food in the lounge area so that people can go during the visitation. And we have a lot of people that are coming from out of town, and visitation starts pretty early in the morning. So we're gonna buy donuts and pastries, and I don't eat a lot of sugar, so we're gonna do fruit tray and stuff like that to have there for everybody. Now, as it turns out, a very good friend of mine, her father passed away, and his funeral is at the same place an hour or so after my dad's funeral. So if we have anything left over, I'm going to let her know we're just going to leave them there for her and her family. It's a really difficult time, and these are just some things people just don't think about. Also, it might be time for you to make sure that you've got clothes and everything, because as it turns out, I've lost a lot of weight over the last few years, and I did not have any long pants that fit me. So they were all way too big. And so I actually had to go and buy clothes that I can wear to the funeral because I didn't have anything. So that's something else you might want to keep in mind. As I think about other things that you might want to know, I will probably add more videos. I'm going to start put this one on a playlist specifically for this. I know this is a really hard thing for people to realize and to have to deal with. And I'm going to let you know, you do not want to wait to the last minute. Now, obviously, the stuff I'm talking about in this video is mostly stuff that you have to wait till after it happens, but you can prepare. Have your list of bills ready, like I said in my last video. Have that obituary written. I mean, I know it sounds morbid, but you do not want to have to try and put that information together at the last minute. You'll forget, you'll spell names wrong. I mean, when my sister died, my brother-in-law totally forgot about putting me in the obituary. He knew me. We love each other. It just, he was under pressure and he was emotional and he forgot. And this happens, right? So write that out in advance. You can even have your family member help. You know, have a list of the retirement funds and the life insurance policies all ready to go. Grab you one of these books off of Amazon. I also know a lot of funeral homes tend to have them when you go in to start planning for it, because you can pay for your own funeral expenses or your family members in advance. That way, everything is taken care of and planned already and paid for. If you have a situation like that, that's even better, because then all you have to do is contact the funeral home, they pick them up, and then you go from there. I know this has not been a very positive subject, and I apologize, but these are things I think everybody really should know, and they don't, because it's stuff we just don't want to talk about. People just freak out when you start talking about this stuff. It's kind of like, you know, trying to teach people how to, you know, prepare for life. There's all sorts of things you got to know, and believe it or not, this is actually some of them. So I hope you find this informative. And if you have, please like, subscribe, and share. And also, if you have any questions or comments about what I've discussed, please leave them in the comment section below. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.